Okay, after being directed to yet another black male conscious YouTuber, I have to come out and say this. A lot of them are just speaking out of their neck. When they talk about black problems, when they talk about black behavior, they're talking about ratchet black behavior, and they're not looking at stats whatsoever. In an effort to talk about black woman behavior, specifically this, ratchet black women wanting ratchet black men over responsible black men, they missed the point completely. Who the hell cares about ratchet black women or ratchet black men? You know who cares about that? White people care about that. That's all that they put on the news. And do you know the percentage of the black population that is ratchet? 8%. That means you are missing 92% of the black population. Now, where do I get my 8% from? That is a percentage of criminal and poverty-stricken blacks. They don't want to come out and tell you that the rate of recidivism for black criminals is like 400%. Yes, that means that blacks who are criminals go to jail 4 to 5 times if they can even make it out of jail enough to go back into jail if they don't live in a 3 strikes you're out state. So all of them are talking about ratchet black people. Who the hell cares about ratchet black people? I try not to talk about ratchet black people, and you need to identify them as ratchet, whores, sluts, trash. Nobody cares about them. We should not care about them. We should not make public policy based on the behavior of ratchet black people. They can die. They can go to hell and die. That's it. Stop talking about ratchet black people. You base your entire YouTube channel on ratchet black people. Then you program the black people that listen to you and the white people that listen to you to think that all black people are ratchet. You're the very problem that you're supposedly trying to fix. You're ratchet. That's something that a woman would do. What? Gossip about people. And the gossip always talks about ratchet people. I don't make things about ratchet people. I say TMZ sucks. They'll take a rich black person, pristine black person, and point out the most ratchet thing that they've ever done in their life. And even twist it around and lie about it. Oh, Will Smith's daughter is laying up in bed with a naked man. 20 people sitting in the room that she clicked a picture and they were 3 feet apart. But that's how they sell news. If you're really a conscious black man, why don't you talk about the other 92%? Why don't you talk about the 60% of black people who are in the middle class who are struggling due to Obama? You want to love Obama for some stupid reason. Oh, Obama. Black wealth disappeared in the amount of 60% under Obama. Not Bush, not Reagan, Obama. And don't say that was all Bush's fault. This is 4 years into it. The former president's doings, and after about a year. His budget goes a year after he's left office. That's how it works. Then after a year, everything is that president's doing. So we're talking about 4 years later, 4 years into the Obama administration, black wealth went down by 60%. That's pure Obama, baby. And you're all over his nuts. I'm talking about ratchet people. Stop it. If you're a conscious black person, why are you programming white people and black people to hate black people? You are the problem. Calling yourself conscious, calling yourself awakened black man. You're not. First of all, do some homework. Go do some research. Go look at stats. Black people are not poor. Black people are not criminal. Do you know that they judge criminality based on the per 100,000 population? How many criminals per 100,000 people? You have to compare the entire population to the population of criminals. Yes, the United States leads the entire world in incarceration, but the number is so low to begin with anyway. And if you don't understand how stats work, if you're dealing with a very tiny sample, like the black population in the United States, anything that anybody does in the black population, when you pull up a percentage, is going to look like something really big. There is a town in New York, upstate New York, that at one point led the entire nation in per capita murders. How many people were murdered? 2. 2. The number is 2. Is that a lot of murders? No, on nobody's books is that a lot of murder. But because the town was so small, 2 people being murdered put them at the top of the per capita murder rate. You have to understand the game. 13% of black people work for the federal government. The federal government is the largest hire. No, it's not. They don't even report on small businesses. They continuously don't report on small businesses. Point blank, the largest employer of all people are small businesses. The largest employer of black people, of all black people, are black-owned small businesses. They don't want to report that. You have 87% of black people working where? In the private sector and for small black-owned businesses. In fact, they have gone so far as to study it and show that black human resources managers hire blacks more than any other group. And that's easily explained. Why? Because black people like black people. Black people know black people. White people hire more white people than any other group. Asians hire more Asians than any other group. Jews hire more Jews than any other group. It's not a mystery. Stop doing your report on ratchet women. A ratchet thought is gonna go after a ratchet Negro because that's her level. She can't graduate to another level above her. That's like me trying to date a ratchet woman. What am I gonna talk about? If I treat her to dinner, what are we gonna talk about? She's gonna be impressed that there's tablecloth on the table. She's gonna be impressed that the chairs aren't made out of plastic. She's gonna be impressed that there's a spoon, knife, and a fork made out of silver on the table. Blow her away. What are we gonna talk about? Lil Wayne? And I keep telling you, you have to identify class. I've said it twice now. You're talking about lower class Negroes. You're talking about ratchet Negroes. I mean, just gone all the way, have no mind. And you're training the people who watch your video to think that black people are ratchet, that black people are low class, scum of the earth. I'm over here putting picture after picture after picture of black businessman, black businesswoman, middle class family, upper class black family. I'm trying to expose people to what is really out there. They don't talk about those people. Why do I care so much? Because I do research all the time. I look at news reports all the time. I'm subscribed to AP, Reuters. I pay for the subscription to come directly to me. I have feeds to all of those reports. And then I go online and then I look at the reports on the channels with comments. And in all the comments, if they say, oh, something happened violent, everybody in the comments says, oh, those are Black Lives Matter. Ha 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 ha. Those are black people. It's a full-fledged war, and all you're doing is giving them gasoline. You're giving them ammunition. You're supplying them with everything. You're a supply truck. You're a big rig supply truck. That's what you are. Why do ratchet women not go for middle-class men? Because they can't handle it. That is not their speed. Why do black men go with fat women? Because it's a ratchet man. It's a low-class black man. And she's a low-class white woman. That's all they can handle. They can't handle a middle class. Can you imagine a thug, a black thug, wannabe gangster trying to date a middle class professional black woman? That makes no sense. Why are you even concentrating on that? That is not a black problem. That is a class problem. Recognize it and stop selling your own people down the river. You need to recognize class. I can only assume that you must be ratchet yourself and you have absolutely no example of a professional. My uncle was the Western manager for the entire GMAC. My uncle, my direct uncle, my flesh and blood, the guy I hang around with. My parents, U.S. diplomats in the Foreign Service. That's how I grew up. I grew up talking to princes, presidents, ambassadors. I don't talk about ratchet people because I don't know ratchet people. Anytime I talk about a ratchet person, it's something that I've seen in my research, more than likely from white people. But I can identify that what we're talking about is a ratchet black person. If you want to be a part of the solution, why don't you try and uplift black people? Why don't you try and expose them to the middle class, the black middle class? That's your job. All of you. And you all go after Tommy Sotomayor? For what? He's pointing out the same ratchet black people that you're pointing out. But you want to believe that you are some sort of conscious black guy when all you do is talk about ratchet black people and their problems. You sound like a woman.